evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Craig Levitt Show. I'm Craig Levitt, and this is my hour, and I'm happy to have you with me. Hey, it's raining in Las Vegas, Nevada. How cool is that? I have one daughter that just got back from spending 18 months in London, England, where it rains all the time. In fact, in London, you don't tan, you rust. And she was just, so happy to get here to the desert. And just been loving it. She's been home 1 week. And today it was raining. And everybody in Las Vegas was going out, and saying prayers of gratitude and having the rain fall on their faces and drench themselves. And it was just the greatest thing. And my daughter said, "Rats, it's raining. I was hoping to get away from the rain." Well, you can't please everybody. But we are so grateful for the rain. I don't know, when I was a little kid, and by the way, that was a long time ago, when Lake Mead was first concocted, filled, whatever it is, when they first did it, it was full, and the marinas out there were so nice, and I could water ski. Well, I couldn't water ski well. I looked like, orca getting dragged behind a boat, but it was fun, and the water was warm because it was, heated from the sun. Now I go out there, and from the parking lot, it's a fur piece out to where they park the boats, moor the boats, do the boats, whatever they do with boats. It's a long way from the parking lot. Anyway, it's good to have some rain. We're happy to, I don't know, maybe we'll have some flash floods, and that'll be really cool, except for the people that get caught in them, right? I have a special guest with me today, and I'm going to introduce her to you. She's sort of a special person to me, and special. She's my daughter. Anyway, not the one that was in England. This is my little gal, Serre Splond. Say hi, Serre.
Hello.
She's got the personality. She actually should be the host of this show, and
no.
I should be the one over there giving the hand signals and doing all that other sort of stuff. But in fact, the other day, my brother said, "Craig, you got a radio show," and I said, "Yeah." And he said 2 questions. Number 1, do they pay you to do it? And I said, "No." And he said, "What? You got a show and they don't pay you?" And I said, "Well, we're working on that." And he said, "Well, why radio? Why didn't you go to television?" And I said, "Bro, take a look at me. I look in the mirror every day, and I don't see a television personality. I see somebody watching the Craig Levitt Show on television saying to the person in the room with them, 'Would you like to go get a pizza?'" So anyway, that's why I have my radio show, and I'm really happy. Now, Serre is an incredible woman, and I'm just going to have her play with the dialogue for a second, and later on I'm going to interview her, and I hope that you'll get out a pencil and a piece of paper, because she's going to be answering some incredible questions, and we're going to have a fun dialogue, aren't we, dear?
Oh, yes, we are.
Okay. Over the past little while, now so that you know, this show is actually taped live. I don't tape mistakes and then pass them on. So if I make a mistake, it's live.
No going back.
Yeah, well, that's what I can't erase some of the things I actually say. But we are non-political. We're nonpartisan. We don't have a social bias. This is just an open forum for ideas, thoughts, and comments that come from me or from my guests, or if you decide you want to call in and give us a thought or an opinion or something like that, you can do so by calling KDWN 720 AM on your radio dial. And their telephone number here, the call-in number is 702-257-5396. And so if you get all turned on while we're moving on, then call, let us know what you think. But I'll tell you what I've been thinking about lately. I have been surrounded. I've got beautiful daughters. They look just like me with hair, and it's incredible to just see myself. But these daughters of mine, I have Brenna, and I just love Camille is my oldest, and love her, and And I've got Julie. Now Julie is the princess.
Yes.
Cheyenne is the pretty princess. And Serre, her middle name is Zenobia, which means beautiful African princess. So I am surrounded by princesses. And people say, well, Craig, does that make you the king? And I said, no, I'm Sabu the houseboy. And, can I tell you where that comes from? Everybody out there that wants to know how I got the name Sabu, raise your hands. Oh, two of you. Okay, well, when Julie Noel was about 2 years old, it was a Saturday morning, and I had taught her well that Saturday mornings you just stay in all day and watch John Wayne Westerns. So she was laying on the couch, and she was just being really cool, and I enjoyed that because, I always enjoyed John Wayne Westerns. So all of a sudden, she gets this idea that she wanted to have, are you ready for this? Top ramen noodles with hot dogs chopped up in them. Now, that's very cool because I had also taught her that because, I didn't want to cook a bunch of things. So anyway, I said, what do you want, sweetheart? She says, I want noodles. I said, oh, okay, and I knew about the hot dog. And then she had some other demands, as she was stretched out on the couch. And I said, princess, am I daddy or am I Sabu the houseboy? And she thought for about 15 seconds, and she said, you Sabu, daddy. So I'm surrounded by a beautiful queen and beautiful princesses, and I am Sabu, the houseboy. That is so cool. But I've been thinking this week, I've been very concerned, just like you have, with how life is in our country. And this is not political. I'm just making an observation that life in America is tough.
Yes, it is.
I mean, there's about 6% of our population that don't have a job. But that doesn't count the nearly 9 to 10 million who have given up looking for a job. And there's family. Okay, I want you to bite down on this one. There are families in America, the United States of America, the wealthiest country on the face of the earth in terms of natural resources and opportunity. There are people in our country going to bed every night hungry. Now, I never went to bed hungry because if I was grounded, for example, I always had a stash of Twinkies under the pillow. There are some kids in America that don't know what a Twinkie is, except they go, Twinkie, Twinkie, little star. But I used to have a little stash of, and there are people out there, I want to wrap your head around this one. Children, you got me? Who can't do anything about their living standard, can't do anything about the course of their lives. They go to bed hungry, and when they wake up in the morning, the hunger's not gone, and they have no idea where the next meal is coming from. Now, I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or what do they call that other one? Green tea or
green tea party, Dad,
or brown hot chocolate with whipped cream, whatever political party you're in. That's just not right. It's just not right that kids should ever be hungry. And so I've been thinking about this idea all week long about what in the heck is wrong with America. Now, I don't mean the country, because America is still the most beautiful place on the earth. And if you don't believe that, go to Yellowstone. Mm-hmm. But don't get eaten by a bear. Go to Alaska. Go to Montana. Come to Las Vegas. America is the most opulent country in terms of opportunity. And yet we've got a huge bunch of people living in this country that get up in the morning and then they just kind of, what do I want to do today? I don't know. Well, let's go see if the check's in, and then they take food stamps. And I'm not against food stamps. I'm not against helping people. But folks, are you ready for this? Okay. Turn off TV. Tell your kids to be quiet. Listen to the radio for 1 second, but don't start until I tell you. This is America. People in other parts of the world dream about the opportunity to come to this country. Because here they can work. Here they can make their dreams come true. Here they can do all these wonderful things. How come it is that people outside the United States dream about coming to America to get an opportunity, while the people in the United States who could use an opportunity, don't get me wrong, opportunities need to be chased. But rather than looking for these opportunities, what these people do is try to figure out how to get the rich people to pay their fair share of taking care of the people who aren't taking advantage of opportunities. I find that really puzzling, because I want to tell you something. Okay, are you listening? Okay. There is no reason for hunger and homelessness in the United States of America. Okay, I said that quietly because that's a secret. Okay, because apparently everybody doesn't know it. So, okay, there is no reason for hunger and unemployment in the United States of America. Okay, so what's the problem? How come there is?
Well, I think it's because not a lot of people can find, they don't understand that there's a way. So when you grow up in certain circumstances and you have certain, you live in certain situations, you think that this is all that there is. I know one of my favorite songs, she's this singer, Janelle Monáe, she says, ghetto woman, all you needed was someone to free your mind. And it's so true, because all people need is someone to free their mind, to show them that there is a better way. There is a way, even though it may be hard and may take you a while, there is a way for you to achieve your dreams and your goals and your aspirations. And some people, they don't have that person to free their mind. They get trapped in, I guess, whatever environment they grew up in, and they succumb to that, and they repeat the cycle. They always say, a lot of families always look for that one person to break the cycle, because so many people repeat that cycle over and over again of just staying impoverished and in poverty, things like that, you know?
Well, you get into a cultural or an ethnic rut.
Yes.
And you figure, wait a minute, I'm in this rut because somebody else up there above me or whatever fired me or told me I couldn't work anymore. And so I'm in this culture. And I got to tell you what, you can drive throughout Las Vegas, Nevada, into many neighborhoods, and it's not just one or two people. There are communities of people who don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you about my little baby girl, Serre. I love her. She just is the coolest thing in the world. Now, I'm not going to get too personal.
Okay.
When she was 15 years of age, she stood up one morning, and there was a song in her mind, and it was, "On the boats and on the planes, we're coming to America." Anyway, what she decided she was going to do was do something different than anybody she knew was doing or had ever done or was ever going to do. So she pulled her pony from the barn, slapped a saddle on it, and took off out into the world. Scary when you're 15. You can't even drive yet.
Yeah, not
Well,
even.
now she's 20 and she still can't drive. She has a license.
Stop it.
Sorry about that.
You got here safely, didn't you?
I did. But this girl decided that she was going to make a mark in the world. Now, this was before I met her. And by just hard work, she got through, I don't know if they call them a charter school or an advanced high school, and scored so high that she was able to think about getting scholarships, and people were thinking about giving them to her. I mean, if she had just sat, on the steps or the porch of her house and said, "Well, I got a crappy life," today she would still be having that same crappy life.